So I'm here in Mariupol. It's quite incredible to be here. I was here about a year ago, just after the Russians took it. Much of the city destroyed, some of the neighborhoods resembling a post-apocalyptic wasteland. But I'm in the center right now, and it's quite bizarre to be here. Behind me, a newly installed fountain, a new park here, playgrounds behind me, and there is the drama theater, which was largely destroyed, but that's now got a huge perimeter built around it as they prepare to rebuild it. And it's a bizarre scene. And I asked them whether they wanted to be liberated by Ukraine. Everybody I've spoken to so far just smiles and shakes their head and say no, that life is good here.
And that's pretty much, I just wanted to share this with you guys so you can see the truth about what's going on with this war. We get lied to so much by just about everybody, and it's not safe for the country to be lied to. I always talk about these patriots who tell us that Russia's weakening. Russia's running out of weapons, and Putin, he barely is coherent. Whatever. Okay, I don't know why they lied to us like this. We are demilitarizing ourselves. Like our weapons, we keep sending them to Ukraine. We're sending money to Ukraine to fight a war that we know that they're going to lose. And then, so what? We can get involved, and will we even have weapons to get involved? I don't know. And for what? I've been against this war from the beginning. Because I already know where we're headed. This counteroffensive that they have going on, they are getting slaughtered. So it's only but a second before more troops have to go in. We're walking into us getting involved officially. So Putin made his summit speech. Let's hear a little bit.
Второй квартал прошлого года стал самым трудным для нашей экономики, для отечественного бизнеса.
Okay, so apparently I thought there was going to be a sub-edited. So the most interesting statements of Putin from the summit speech. Russia is getting off the oil needle. This trend is gradually gaining momentum. Inflation in Russian Federation is lower than in many Western countries and is close to the historical minimum at 2.9%. This is true. And you can go to business. I believe Business Insider, they'll tell you that too. There's been reports, actually Western reports, saying that, they're getting their numbers back slowly, but it's happening. Putin called the second quarter of the most difficult period for the Russian economy in 2022, that the strategy chosen then worked. The president expects Russia's GDP growth by the end of the year to be about 1.5 to 2%. The Russian authorities and business followed a certain strategy last year. It worked and is gaining momentum. Credit and monetary policy is kept in sufficient balance. At the moment, there's a small federal budget deficit, but it is associated with the postponement of spending to an earlier date. For the purchase of defense and weapons for sovereignty of the country, additional funds were required. GDP growth will allow Russian economy to maintain its place among the leading in the world. Okay, so that's what's going on. This is where the sanctions have gotten Russia. They pulled Russia, and there's still Western companies that still work, that are still in Russia. Okay, be clear. Sanction Russia, the ruble's going to turn into rubble. And for anybody who says, oh, Putin is lying, he's just saying this is his people. Okay, you can believe what you want. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to tell you what's going on. Why are we in this battle? Look at how excited the African leaders, they present 10-point solution to Putin, urging resolution of war with Ukraine. Okay. Yeah, he's not going to do it. Okay. So, in the meeting, the follow the African leaders meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr, they're trying to find a peaceful solution. They're not going to do it. Russia's not going to have... They're not going to believe. First of all, nobody else can really discuss peace with Ukraine. Ukraine is not managing their own war. As much as Ukraine probably wants peace with Russia because they're tired of dying and they're tired of making these decisions that it's not doing anything for their country, especially Zelensky doesn't know whether he's coming or going. I'm sure this is too much for him. I'm not making any excuses. He's not in charge of himself. He's not. The minute Zelensky gets found out to be actually talking about peace or maybe banning with Russia or whatever, believe me, he will be taken care of, allegedly, in my opinion. Okay. Russia seizes more than 1,000 NATO weapons. This video shows weapons abandoned by Kyiv regime when retreating From LPR territory, June 2023. The linked stories below. Another small seizure. They just keep, you know what I mean? Like this is Putin showed a draft peace treaty with Ukraine approved by representatives of Kyiv. Russia has never refused to negotiate. A whole series of talks between Russia and Ukraine took place in Turkey to develop confidence and building measures and prepare the text of the treaty. But there's more to this story. This draft was initiated by the head of the negotiating group from Kyiv. Here it is. It's called the Treaty of Permanent Neutrality and Security Guarantees of Ukraine, 80 articles. Moreover, here's the application for it. It concerns the armed forces and other things. Everything is spelled out down to units, military equipment, up to personnel, armed forces. Here's the document, and it was initiated by the Kyiv delegation. But after we, as promised, withdrew the troops from Kyiv, now this is probably, I know what he's talking about here, authorities, as their owners usually do, threw it all into the dustbin of history. Let's say it neatly and intelligently. To add, one of the participants of peace talks with Russia was assassinated. Wow. He was found with a bullet to the back of his head. You see what I'm saying? So all of this, I can't, of course, corroborate it to be clear. Right? I can, of course, corroborate it to be, you know, for me to keep full transparency. I don't have a team behind me to go back and call the Kremlin, right? But I don't have to convince anybody, believe, you know, y'all here. So anyway, he was found with a bullet in the back of his head on the streets of Kyiv because his position on trying to achieve peace. Murder was never solved, although MI6, I'm not sure who that is, was suspected. NATO doesn't want peace unless Russia is destroyed at any cost. Ukrainian lives or whoever is next, straight up and down. I mean, we see it playing out. This is how we see it playing out. This is how we see it playing out. So why would he talk about peace? And I guess this is what he was explaining. He was showing it to.
Хочу обратить ваше внимание на то, что при содействии того же президента Эрдогана.
I don't speak Russian yet. I was trying to learn how to speak Russian like 5 years ago. Sorry. Yeah. He's talking to the African leaders. He's telling them, like, I tried peace. It doesn't work. They don't want peace. Okay. They will end somebody if the person starts talking to me about peace. And then in the meantime, the biggest transfer of wealth is happening. We're paying for this word through inflation, but not everything goes to the war. Allegedly, in my opinion, we know where it goes. It goes back in the pockets of the oligarchs. Lindsey Graham, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden. We need to wake up. American people, please wake up. Please wake up. We are being robbed and distracted. It's terrible. I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye.